Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to our Lunch and Learn for March that's titled The Value of Volunteering. And today we're going to talk to you for just about 15-ish minutes about the value of volunteering as it relates to your career, but also as it will relate to you personally and the value it is to you for your health and well-being. I really believe in volunteering, and I believe that the best way to find yourself, as this quote says, is to lose yourself in the service of others. I feel like this is really appropriate for the college-age student because a lot of times you are trying to find who you are, what's going to make you happy and satisfied in your career, and finding yourself in some service to others is a really great way to get some great experience and also feel good about yourself. So that being said, I am going to give you some statistics in case just knowing that you're going to feel better about yourself isn't good enough for you. Lots of studies have been done on the value of volunteering, and I'm going to give you some of those study results. The first one is a Career Builder did a study on over 3,000 different hiring managers, and 60% of them revealed that they believe that volunteerism is a valuable asset when they're making recruiting decisions. So to me, that means when they're looking at resumes and they see someone with volunteer experience and someone who doesn't have volunteer experience, all other things being equal, that volunteer experience is going to help when they're making that decision about if they should invite you in for an interview or if they are going to even pursue you further. So definitely 60% of hiring managers do see that as valuable. In another study done by the Corporation for National and Community Service, they followed 70,000 unemployed people, and the ones who did volunteer activities during their time of unemployment were 27% more likely to get hired than those who didn't do volunteer experience. You may have heard the phrase, that it's easier to find a job when you already have a job. That's true, but in the absence of a job, volunteering is apparently the next best. So I would say that's pretty compelling if you're not working for whatever reason, to consider volunteering and see how that might help you in your future job search. Another study done by Deloitte determined that 92% of human resource executives believe that contributing to a nonprofit can increase your leadership skills. That, I think, is really telling for a number of reasons. Leadership skills are super important. It's what they're looking for, recruiters are looking for when they're looking at your resume. It's what they're going to ask you questions about when you're in an interview. So if 92% of human resource execs agree that volunteering is increasing your leadership skills, that's got to be a good thing. Because, volunteering, you're taking the initiative, you're stepping outside of yourself, you're taking leadership roles in a lot of cases, managing a lot of different things when you're volunteering, and those all do reflect to make good leadership skills. Another study that was done by Johns Hopkins University, it was done on older people, but I would have to believe that it's translatable to younger. But they did a study of people by doing cognitive assessments and MRI scans, and then they assigned the people to volunteering. They let the people choose what type of volunteering they wanted to do. They volunteered regularly for 6 months, and at the end of those 6 months, they gave them the same cognitive assessment and did another MRI scan, and they saw that they actually increased their brain function. It helped them regain function, and I believe, especially in men, it was even more, even more obvious the changes that had come. So that's really good. Keeping your brain fresh and sharp, done by Johns Hopkins. Another one that was done, a study done over about 3,000 people, we came up with 79% of adults who volunteered consistently for about 12 months experienced lower stress levels. So they talked to the people before they volunteered, and then they talked to them throughout the process. And at the end of 12 months, they said they felt less stressed. I know this one to be true, and it makes perfect sense. A lot of times your stress comes from worrying about things that you have going on that you need to get done. And by putting yourself out there and helping others, it can reduce that stress because it takes that pressure off of you, takes you away from only worrying about yourself. We did a volunteer opportunity last month where we were making sandwiches and bagging up socks for the homeless. And one of my students saw this quote on the display, and she actually said, "I know that's true because I felt really stressful when I came in. And then by the end of the, actually just within 10 minutes of being here, she said she felt a lot better, was relaxing. You know, there's the socialization, the feeling of doing a good thing. But that was just a nice anecdote to confirm this study. Another great thing about volunteering is that it provides an opportunity for you to increase your network and explore some careers experientially. So a lot of times we talk about going to networking events and building your network on LinkedIn and in person, but that's kind of scary. You go into a networking event and everybody's dressed up and you know that you're there to impress. It's almost like a first date. But when you're volunteering, you're going in there and you're confident about what you're doing. You feel good about it. It's a passion project. You're there for a reason, and everyone else is there for roughly the same reason. You already have something in common with the people you're talking to and developing relationships with. And so that makes it easy. It takes the edge off and allows you to be more of yourself. You don't know if you're at a dog adoption event, if you're standing next to a person who might be doing the job that you really wish you had, or who works for Disney or Google or something like that. It just takes that pressure down and allows you to communicate a little more freely and really introduces you to a new subset of people you might never have met. It also is good for exploring careers because in that same vein, you can talk to that person about what their job is, what they like about it, maybe even generate some job shadowing opportunities. So that's really great. And even in the act of volunteering, you're going to find out the things that really kept you energized, that made you feel good, and the things that you really wish you didn't have to be in. Or maybe you didn't like that office environment and you'd rather be outdoors, or vice versa. So it really is a useful way of trying on some different careers and activities and seeing what works for you. Another really great thing I love about volunteering as experience, especially for busy college students. I know a lot of you are full-time in college, maybe working a part-time job. You have family obligations that you need to be taking care of. But what's really great is most of these places know that you're busy and they're not asking for a huge chunk of time. 2 to 4 hours a week is usually the average that a volunteer is asked to commit. And that's doable. Most people can find a few hours in their week. Even if you can't find 15 or 20 for a part-time job, you can find a few hours to volunteer, especially if it's something you really care about and it's kind of fun for you anyway. So I definitely like that lower time commitment is very helpful. It almost takes away any excuse you could come up with for not deciding to volunteer. This is a sample resume. I don't know if you can see very well up here, but I'm just showing when you do a consistent volunteer experience, so maybe every week for a few hours, you're at the South Lake Animal League helping with connecting pets with new owners. It is a really good experience. You can see there's 4 really good bullet points where you're interacting with the animals. You're greeting and interviewing the potential pet owners. You're doing background checks and reference checks. You're setting up spaces for meet and greets. There's a lot of great skills that go into that an interviewer in the future is going to be interested in hearing about. If you're looking for animal care experience, this is great. You're assessing the animals. If you're interested in customer service or interviewing skills, this is really great. You're getting to know the people that are coming in looking for a pet. You're assessing their needs. These are all really valuable skills and would give you really great stuff to talk about in a future interview. Now, if you don't volunteer regularly and you just have time for a one-off here and there, you know, this month you might do a food drive and next month you might be at the soup kitchen or volunteering at a race or something like that, that's fine too. But that could go down in a section below your work experience that you might label community service and activities or other volunteer experience or something like that. It's still on there. It's still valuable. Your employer, recruiter is still seeing that, but you wouldn't want to put that up here because it's just not quite the same level of experience and level of commitment and time. Oops. So now hopefully I've convinced you that volunteering is a really great way to build your resume and just do the right thing. And so you might be wondering, where do I find these opportunities? They are everywhere. You just need to know where to look or to talk to anyone and ask them. Some of the resources I use the most often are volunteermatch.org is a really great website. It's national, possibly even international, has tons of different volunteer opportunities, and you can filter it by your interest area and by your location, which is really great. Handsonorlando.com is local to Orlando, but many different cities have a hands-on in their city name. I really like that one because it gives you a calendar view and does give you the opportunity to choose maybe a one-off. Oh, this Saturday maybe I'm going to help with the food drive, and next Thursday I'm going to help with this birthday party for the homeless, and another, call center drive another day. So that one, if you're afraid to make a commitment up front, is a really good option. The Give a Day Foundation is local here in Claremont. They also kind of curate the different volunteer opportunities. If you're looking for something, contact them and just tell them what you're looking for, and they should be able to find an organization who needs some help. The website of any nonprofit you care about. Pick something that you're passionate about and look for their website. There's going to be a button or a tab or a link somewhere on there where you can choose to volunteer, and it will give you the steps that you need to take. Usually it's emailing someone, sometimes it's filling out an online form, but don't be intimidated, fill it out. They are looking for good help, so go ahead and get involved out there. Even your church or your school, if you have a sibling or a child at a school, they're always looking for people to help with classroom projects, reading to students, helping children in the youth ministry or maybe in a church nursery. And then if you can't find anything that fits you, contact Career Services, me or Carice, and we'd be happy to help you find something that's going to really help you and make you feel good. The next few slides, I just went online to that volunteer match and to a couple different websites just to show you what's currently out there. I did this a couple weeks ago, but all of these opportunities are currently out, available. These people need help with these different things. If you're thinking about working in healthcare and you need some hours to get accepted into college, or you just want to see what it's like out there, South Lake Hospital just down the street has tons of different volunteer opportunities. The Florida Cancer Specialist Foundation is looking for a patient support program assistance. You can visit patients in assisted living. None of these are doing hands-on healthcare, but it is putting you in that environment, seeing how you react to people in crisis, people in pain, learning what the sounds and sights that might occur in a hospital or one of these facilities. So when you do go into an interview, you can confidently say, yes, I've been in that experience and I can handle it. This is how I would approach it. Need animal handling experience. If you're thinking about going to vet school or being a zookeeper or something in conservation biology, you may need this animal handling experience. There's opportunities abound for this type of thing. Any animal rescue, whether it's wildlife or domestic, will give you that hands-on animal handling experience. My personal favorite is the Cat Cottage Cuddlers, where you literally are snuggling with cats to help them become more social so that their future family would be more likely to adopt them. Event planning experience. Event planning is a really big industry, especially here where there's a lot of hospitality, tourism, conventions coming in. Pick a nonprofit, they probably have an event that they need help with. So it can range from the volunteering at an adoption event where you're holding a dog's leash or you're checking people in, all the way up to some fancy galas for these different, muscular dystrophy, the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, the Manello Museum of American Art. There's lots of opportunities. Also, many times these events are their main fundraisers, so that's also giving you fundraising experience. You're going to be exposed to a whole host of opportunities that are available in the nonprofit sector. Human resources and recruiting. I talked to lots of students who are interested in that. Many times being a volunteer coordinator at one of these nonprofits is very similar to that. You're looking at applications of potential volunteers. You're doing interviews. You're doing orientations. You're making sure schedules are planned out. You're making sure everybody shows up on time. All very similar to hiring and management, supervisory types of responsibilities. And then administrative or office management. I feel like I meet with a lot of students who have maybe been in part-time food service or retail and they're trying to get out of that. They know that eventually they're going to want to work in customer service in an office or even doing data entry or finance, accounting, anything like that. But how do they get that experience when they have no previous experience? So this is a great way to do that. Many nonprofits need someone just to answer the phone in their office a few hours a week, or to do data entry, to greet people who are coming in to make donations and that sort of thing. So this is a really great way to get yourself out there, see if you like being in the office environment, develop some of those skills, learn some of the software where it's, databases and calendaring and that sort of thing, while also doing a favor to a nonprofit. So that's really all I've got for you. I have a ton more information, but I was trying to keep this short. I don't think I did a very good job of that. But if you need any help finding a resource, where you can volunteer, how you can put it on your resume, what you might talk about in an interview, Career Services can help you. I'm here on the South Lake campus in Building 2, Room 153. Carice is over and Beate are over in Leesburg in the Student Services Building, Room 144. Carice goes out to Sumter usually on Wednesdays, and she has an office back in the Student Lounge. You can contact us at either phone number or email, and we'd be happy to help you. You can schedule an appointment through Starfish. We're here to help you find your way, and hopefully through some volunteerism. And then, I got out of control. I just want to leave you with one other quote by Aristotle, and what is the essence of life is what he's asking, and that is to serve others and do good. I believe that's true, and I believe most people do believe that's true, and I love that through volunteering and doing good and doing nice things for others, you can also help yourself find who you are, find what you want to do, and help the community. So if you have any questions, please let us know. If you're watching this on Facebook later, feel free to leave a comment or send us a message, and I would be happy to respond. Have a great day.